In my opinion, chums, one of the worst things that Meghan Markle did, I mean, there's many things, as you can imagine, but one of the worst things I thought was this terrible, disrespectful headline to a man of a certain age. You know, whether you like His Majesty the King, King Charles III or not, it's not very nice to read this sort of headline. Remember when Meghan famously claimed, of course, that Prince Harry had lost his father and all this as well. No, no, you manipulated it, dear. You forced him out. You forced him to dump his family for mysterious things that were not there, that have now been proven to be lies. But time and time again, because of course you're very clever at manipulation, you managed to get that out there. And I know for a fact, from an excellent source of mine, as you can imagine, chums, that His Majesty was very hurt by this because, you know, he's always been there for Harry. You know, it's just been proven he's tried to be the best father that he possibly could, as all fathers do, you know, in the majority, and that's the point. So to read that in black and white and for that to reverberate around the world simply because Meghan Markle is so spiteful, well, then you think, how much lower can you go? But right now, what's interesting to see and hear is the fact that, of course, Prince William and Harry, well, their relationship, as we know, is doomed, despite what all of these royal experts say about, oh, you know, they want to find a way back for Harry. Rubbish. William can't abide the idea. The upset that he caused, of course, his wife, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, the way that he's treated his father, the way that he's treated everybody, including, of course, William's stepmother, Queen Camilla. Well, you can't forgive stuff like that. It's there in black and white, it's there in audio, you know, end of. But what's interesting to now learn is the fact that, well, Meghan's plan to disrupt inside Buckingham Palace, well, she may have thinks that it's worked, but in fact she's just not that bright. Hence the reason she never truly made it as an actress. As ever, let me explain. Hi, morning chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today in the very heart of London. I hope you're keeping well, whatever you're doing, and of course, do take care of yourselves, absolutely. So we have to be careful, don't we, in this world that we're living in. By the way, as we're edging towards Christmas, just a quick throw out on this. What was your very first, or not first, but your very favourite Christmas present that you can remember, you know, as a child, probably up to the age of 12. I tell you why. Somebody was asking me, what did I want for Christmas? And you think, can't think of anything. You get to this age, you think, I've got, you know, what you'd like actually is a hot water bottle. You know what I mean? It's things like that. The practicalities of life come in, don't they? But I do remember being very young, probably about 9 or 10, and mum and dad were very kind. We didn't have a lot of money, but very kind, and they bought me one of those electronic pipe organs. But between you and I, when they were out, I would take it out of the wardrobe, which they'd hidden it at the back of, because Santa was bringing it, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I would play it. So by the time it came Christmas morning, I was quite good at it, right? They must have wondered, oh, he's got a natural ability. But no, I'd been sneaking away. I've confessed mine now. What was your very favourite first Christmas present, you know, that you think, yeah, that was a memorable one? Probably that and the record player, I think, yeah. Do share. We'd all love to know. Let the chums know. And did you secretly have a go before it came to the big day? I'd love to know that too. Let's get back, of course, to your royal story of the day. This, as I said to you a couple of days ago, is truly engulfing now Prince Harry and Buckingham Palace, because, you know, the lies are just really stacking up. And the problem that you have when you openly lie on the world stage is it's very provable. And this is all about, of course, Harry's battle to get some, well, interest in him. You know, his recent polling over in America is polling incredibly badly. People do see him now as a bad egg, and rightly so. I think, you know, he's been caught out on a number of occasions. Meghan Markle's level is just at that point, you know. And the problem that you've got now, really, there's no turning back from this. I don't say this with delight, you know. I'm not one of those content creators, contributors, news reporters, whatever you want to call us. I'm not interested in that. I just can't get over the stupidity of how you can have all of that and allow somebody with no experience, no background, to manipulate your life to such a way that constantly you must look and think, where did it all go wrong? Of course, Harry, you know, he battled all of that thing, didn't he, a while back with the NYPD, when he claimed he'd been chased around New York and then suddenly refused to confess or give some info regarding that, right? So that played out quite badly. And on top of all of that, do not forget, of course, that Harry himself is complicit in a lot of this. This is because now he claims that he told the palace, etc. Where this is taking a turn for the worst is they have literally gone through everything at Buckingham Palace and at Kensington Palace. Harry point blank is refusing to say who he spoke to. Now, when you have a situation like this, well, he's claiming, let me tell you, and again I have to say allegedly, that it was one of his team. Well, okay, the team must have taken a note down, because if they didn't, then they're the most incompetent people that you've employed. And these people are not cheap, right? So we know, for instance, that this has already got holes in it bigger than Swiss cheese. You get the picture. But you see, it doesn't matter how hard they push. The game, the name of the game for this was to disrupt. Meghan Markle, tried her very best with certain posts. She popped up doing things. She announced her return back to acting farcically, playing herself in a movie, just at the time when she's trying to distract away from anybody else's success. This is one mean girl, whatever way you want to look at it. You would just have the courtesy to sit back and go, oh, well. And have you noticed, this is what's happened with the monarchy, that say Catherine, when she's doing a big speech or something like that, the details are left to the very last minute, because they know that the manipulator over in Montecito is just ready to drop another thing. It might be a tedious video, and in Meghan's mind, everybody will want to come and look at that because it's me. Now, here's where this has really, really exploded, because now William, and this is where I feel sorry for King Charles, right? William can categorically prove that Harry should not be given any leeway in any future point moving forward. And from an excellent source, I've been told that His Majesty the King has absolutely said, I totally agree. And this is going to be bad news for Prince Harry, because, as you know, he famously said on camera that he'd like to reconnect with his family, etc. But you see, when you keep doing things like this time and time again, it's very obvious. And what you really did was left the door wide open to the fact that you literally were just doing it because you couldn't abide your elder brother getting some success, some plaudits, whatever you want to call it, on the world stage. Now, whether that was engineered, geared, whatever, by your wife, Meghan Markle, you're just not clever enough, because now they know that nobody made contact with the palace at all. If they made contact with the switchboard, Harry and Meghan, but predominantly Harry, knows exactly who to speak to regarding getting permission to see or speak or get a message through to his father. He managed it, didn't he, when he came over to see him in London in September. So what's so different about him zipping over to Canada? The difference is he just wanted to be spiteful. Now the palace 100% know this. And really, as Harry steps back and looks at this and thought, that's a good idea, I've managed to get one up on him. Well, actually, you've made yourself look a fool. But more importantly, on top of all of this, once again, the arch manipulator of Montecito, Meghan, has made sure that you look a fool. And for that, there's really no coming back. Eventually, when this does explode, and it will explode, it's just bound to, because Meghan really can't stand to look at failure. And what she's going to look at is, it won't be her failure, it's going to be your failure, because you haven't delivered what she wants. And now, when all of your family now simply don't trust you, you would be even lucky to get the very same service that another disgraced royal, the former Duke of York, Prince Andrew, is receiving by being able to move out to Sandringham. It's a very sad state of affairs, and I'm sure deep down William does feel very sad about it. But he can now 100% prove that Harry, well, basically just wanted to spoil his big moment. And that's a terrible thing for a brother to have to find out, particularly on the world stage, and particularly from someone who you have zero respect for. That's you, Meghan, right? Neil Sean, Kensington, London.